A couple of days ago, I hosted a free live workshop to our private clients where I walked them through exactly how to generate between $3,000 to $5,000 in the next 30 days by leveraging AI, by simply installing simple AI drag and drop solutions into small businesses to help them solve problems like increasing revenue, generating more leads, converting more leads, increasing profitability, systematizing their processes and tasks, and so on. In this presentation, I also break down the 3 simple framework that we use in our AI agency that generates us millions of dollars every single year. In fact, this year, on track to do about $3.5 million in net income, not top line, in net income. Hope you like it. See you inside. So listen, today, my promise to you is that we show you guys how to go from confused about AI, about not knowing what to do with AI, to knowing how to be certified as an AI expert and be able to land your first paying client in 30 days. Let me ask you guys all a question. How many here have been wanting to learn about AI? How many here are overwhelmed about everything that's happening about AI, and you want to learn, you want to get started, you want to start making money, but you simply don't know? You're a little confused. Drop a yes in the chat if that's you, okay? Drop a yes in the chat if it feels like you're a little overwhelmed. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to start. And it is, kind of a little overwhelming for you, right? Well, that's my goal here for you today, is that you learn everything you need to land your first paying client in the next 30 days, and that you actually walk out of here with step-by-step on exactly what to do over the following few days, all right? So I do want something from you, okay? I'm going to do my best to deliver to you all the value that I can. But I do ask of you one thing. Number 1, stay positive. Number 2, stay, come in with an open mind. Number 3, make sure that you are taking a lot of notes. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing screen. I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm going to be writing things on the board. I do ask that you take notes, and I do ask that you ask questions. You're going to see, obviously, there's in the chat, a lot of you guys are being active, so that's great. There's also Q&A box. Drop a yes in the chat if you guys can see the Q&A box at the bottom, just at the bottom of the Zoom screen. If you go there, if you have any questions, if you have any questions, do me a favor and drop them in there, okay? Drop them in there. Also, do me a favor, when you guys are typing, right now, a lot of you guys, so Nick, Simone, Jim, Ivorus, I believe, you guys are all dropping messages to host and panelist. When you go to drop message in the bottom, there's a blue box. Do me a favor and click on everyone. Click on everyone, okay? So why don't you all right now, all 50 of you, go to the chat box and change the setting from host and panelist to everyone, and then just drop something in there, okay? Just say hello, all right? Do me a favor and do that all. I just want to make sure that you guys all got it. Okay, great. That's awesome. Very good. So listen, in case if you're wondering, Bashar, is there going to be a pitch at the end? Are you going to be pitching as a program? I know that you guys teach people how to do this stuff. Yes, there is definitely going to be a pitch at the end. Yes, we do have programs. But to get this out of the way, because I don't want you guys to be wondering, when is the pitch going to come? I want you all to focus on the teaching, okay? So I'm just going to get it out of the way. Yes, we have programs. Yes, if you want to learn about them, I will tell you about them later at the end. They do range between $3,000 to $15,000. We have multiple tiers. They're not for everyone. There is an application process. If you are someone who wants to learn about our programs, if you want to get started, if you want to get ahead, and you're like, you know what? I want to learn more about, I want to ask some questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now. If you click on that, it'll go to a short application. You can fill it out and you can schedule a call with our team, okay? And you can get that started, all right? That said, that out of the way, I want you guys to focus on teaching. That said, I want you to hold me accountable. While we are together over the next 20, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, I want to hold my end of the bargain and deliver value to you. So I'm going to ask you 20, 30, 45 minutes in to hold me accountable and to make sure that I delivered value to you. And if I do, I want you to tell me. If I didn't, tell me that as well. Deal? Is that cool? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, okay, I like this. I like the sound of that. I'm good. Let's roll. Great. Awesome. All right, so look, again, guys, make sure that you guys are clicking to everyone when you're chatting in the box, not just the panelist and host, because that means I only can see your message. not everybody else. And if you want to get started with our programs and stuff like that, click that link that I dropped earlier. So look, here's what I want to kind of express to you today and walk you through and kind of show you what we have here going on. So the very first thing that I recognized and that I realized is that AI has been around for many years, okay? People have been working on AI since the 60s and the 70s, right? However, over the last 3 years, there has been a rapid development of AI. There has been a rapid kind of drive towards AI and its implementation in the day-to-day, especially when ChatGPT and OpenAI came about in 2023. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Drop it in the chat. When was it, how long ago was it that you started learning about AI and maybe you started playing around with it? Maybe you kind of downloaded ChatGPT, maybe you downloaded a tool or whatever. Just drop it in the chat for me. Was it like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is. So Jim says 1 year. Angelo says last year. Check. Don't know who that is. Says 2022. Okay, great. So I don't know about you, but I consider myself as kind of like a late adopter. I'm not the guy that's like still, working with a flip phone until today, but I usually kind of don't jump into things right away. I don't know how many here can relate to that. But what I recognized is that the reason why a lot of people are either afraid of it, because how many here believe that you can make money with AI? Drop yes in the chat if you're like, yeah, I see a lot of people making money with AI, and I know I can make money with AI as well. But the reason why a lot of people don't make money with AI is because they miss one of those 3 important things. And we call it our OID method. OID method. Okay, I want you to write this down. OID method. Okay? What is O? O stands for opportunity. I'm not going to try to spell opportunity because I'm going to butcher it. English is my 3rd language, so I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to abbreviate it to OPPTY. Okay? Opportunity. And we're going to break every single one of those down. So opportunity is number 1. Number two, implementation. Implementation. Again, I might butcher it and I do apologize. Okay, number 2 is implementation. And number 3, who can guess what D stands for? So opportunity, implementation, what is D? Drop it in the chat for me if you can guess what D stands for. Let me see if you guys, development, deployment, delivery, okay, close, do, okay, decision, okay, cool, very close, demand. So the reason why people do not make money with AI and can't make money with AI is because they miss one of those 3 things, either opportunity, either implementation, or demand. Okay, and today I'm going to break down every single one of them for you, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can combine those and start making money with AI as soon as this month. Is that cool? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, that sounds cool. I like the sound of that. Let's get rolling. Now listen, if you stay until the end, obviously I want to incentivize you to stay until the end of today. We're going to be together for about 60, 90 minutes. I'm going to do a Q&A, so whatever questions you guys have, I'm going to answer them for you, so make sure that you guys stick around until the end. Number 2, I'm going to give you something that only our clients who enroll into our programs get after paying us thousands of dollars. And that is a list of 22 different business types that you can go and target this week and start making money, okay? Exactly what AI solution they're struggling with, how to implement it in their business, how much to charge them, and so on. All I need you to do is stay until the end. And then finally, I'm going to give you a step-by-step training on how 2 of our star students, Tommy and Barack, which I'll be sharing with you later, how they were able to install this AI solution into a business and charge between $1,000 to $3,000 per AI installation. Right now, one of them has 3 or 4 clients that he was able to land in about a month and a half. And then the other one has 5 clients he was able to land in about 2.5, 3 months. Okay, so they're each making between $3,000 to $5,000 per month right now. And I'll give you a training, a step-by-step training. It's like a 7-10 minute training that you can take and you can learn and you can go install. All I need you to do is stay until the end. Is that cool? Is that cool or what? All right, so listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk through a couple things here. Oh, by the way, I'm going to share with you what this looks like, what this... everyone can see my screen? Drop yes in chat if you guys can see my screen. All right, cool. So this is what I'm going to be sending you. But for you to get it, I just need you to stay until the end, stay engaged with me. All right? So listen, I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a background about me, who I am, where I started, how I got here, and then we're going to get into the teaching. So about 11 years ago, I found myself, woke up one day and realized that I was in a $150,000 debt. How did I get there? Well, about a couple years prior, I had owned and operated a business that I had invested hundreds of thousands into, money that I borrowed, money that my family had saved up, the prior 5-6 years that we had been here in America and working and so on. And then one day, that dream all went to shit. And that's when I got a call from my bartender, John, who said, boss, you got to come back. The kitchen's on fire. Well, by the time I got there, what I realized is that not only the kitchen was on fire, but I did not have insurance to cover the damages. My landlord, Steve, found out, kicked me out, sued me for the remaining of the lease. I owed a bunch of money, a bunch of people a bunch of money, didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was a 23-year-old young kid who had an ego bigger than this entire room, and I simply lost everything. But I had a decision to make. Either stay there, get stuck at 25, and just give in, or take matters into my own hand and start progressing towards where I need to go. Well, guess what I did? I chose option B. Because option A, it would have taken me 15 years just to clear my debt. I picked up a couple of jobs. I was driving for Uber and washing dishes at Hilton Hotel, making about $4,000 a month. And I realized if I just rely on those two jobs, it would take me 15 years just to clear my $150,000 debt. And instead, what I did was I took matters into my own hand. And that's when I went online and started learning how to make money online. At the time, it was this method of learning how to flip products online. Well, I picked that up. I focused on it for the following 4 years. And within 4 years, I was able to retire my parents, marry the love of my life, and clear my debt. But you see, as I was kind of going through this transformation, a lot of people started asking, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, your life was one thing one day, and then now it's a completely different thing. Well, especially this little kid named Zach Brown from North Carolina, who started kind of coming around me and wanting to learn about what I was doing. I helped him. He built a business that was generating $100,000 a month within 6 months, and he was able to retire his family. He was able to start living life on his own terms, and most importantly, really, ride his dirt bike around the country, because that's all he wanted to do. Prior to that, he couldn't do that because he was a 22-year-old kid driving 14 hours a day for FedEx. And he simply couldn't pursue his dreams. But now he could, because now he had an online business generating him multiple 7 figures every single year, so that way he can focus on what he was doing. But you see, that's when I realized that I have a kind of I have this opportunity that I can share with people. And that's when BJK University was founded in 2019 with a mission to impact 1 million lives by 2030 by empowering families with skills they can turn into income. And obviously, the skill that I had at the time was teaching people how to flip products online, okay? But then since the very first video that I ever made on YouTube telling people about this, my goal was to help people with different skills. At the time, it was flipping products, and then later, it was about doing other things. And a couple of years ago, I started researching about different ways that I can teach people how to make money online. And the more that I researched, the more that I looked at everywhere, the one thing that I kept on coming back to was AI, was the power of AI. And you see, when I was kind of looking through why is it that AI is the best opportunity today, is because what I've realized is that, number one, businesses who perform with AI, I'm going to unshare my screen for a second, businesses that perform with AI actually generate about two times the businesses that don't use AI. Write this down. Businesses that operate with AI outperform businesses that do not operate with AI. They are more efficient, more profitable, they generate more income. Okay? However, 99% of small businesses actually do not know where to start or how to implement AI. 99% of only 1%. You see all these big companies and deploying AI and deploying billions of dollars into AI and all that stuff, and you're like, holy shit, it's everywhere. But you see 99% of businesses do not know how to deploy AI. And there are 33 million of those 99 businesses in America alone. We call those SMBs, small businesses, SMBs. Okay? 33 million of those businesses know that they need AI because if and when they implement AI, they can outperform their competitors by 2x, right? They know that they need AI, but they don't know where to start. In fact, there's a stat that I just saw the other day. On average, small business in America loses out on $126,000 per year for simply not answering the phone. Let me say that one more time. I want you to write this down. An average business in America loses out on $126,000 per year for simply not answering the phone. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you needed a plumber, an electrician, health insurance, or whatever, right? How did you get a hold of them? Drop it in the chat. How did you get a hold of last time you needed a service done? Maybe an oil change. Maybe you needed to go to a doctor, or maybe whatever. Drop it in the chat for me. How did you go about finding those people? Okay? How did you go about finding those people? Whatever. Just think about whatever last time you had a service that needed to be done. So call or write. Okay, phone call. All right. Well, where did you find them? Where did you find them? Did you go to a certain website? What did you do? I know for me, what I did was, about a few weeks ago, I realized that I need a new insurance policy. Google Maps, ads, okay. I needed a new insurance policy, a new health insurance, because literally our health insurance like doubled overnight. So I went to Google and then I typed, health insurance near me. And I had, like 10, 15 pop up, and I started calling. The first guy did not answer. Guess what I did? The second guy did not answer. Guess what I did? To the third guy, fourth guy, fifth guy, until one of them picked up. And guess who got my business? The guy who picked up actually got my business. And that's why, on average, a small business in America loses out on $126,000 for simply not answering the phone. Well, what if you learn how to install a simple AI solution into this business and help this small business owner have an AI answer the phone for them 24/7, right? 24/7, and make money. Well, let me ask you a question. If you were a business owner, and I can guarantee that you can make an additional $126,000 a year, how much of this 126 would you be willing to pay me? Drop it in the chat for me. How much of this 126 would you be willing to pay me if I guaranteed that you can make $126,000? 5% says Angelo. Okay, fair enough. So that's about, what is that, like $5,000-$6,000, right? Okay, what else? 10% says Simone. Okay, so that's 126 is about $12,000. Check says 4,000. Okay. 20, is that $20? 20, what is that, 20,000? What is that? What else? What about everybody else? Remember, I can guarantee that you can make $126,000. Jim says 10%. Mohammed says 10%. Well, here's the cool thing. That's how much you guys can charge these businesses. Let me say that one more time. That is how much you guys can charge these businesses for implementing those things. That is, my friends, the O. That is the O in our 3-step system. That is the O. That is the opportunity. Because guess what a lot of people say? A lot of people say, I am too late to this opportunity. Man, I can't make money. NVIDIA went from, went from like a multi-$100 billion company to one of the biggest companies in the world. Last year, $1 billion was getting deployed into AI. This year, $3 billion are getting deployed into AI per day. There's all these different businesses all these businesses being sold. I am so late. Well, guess what? 99% of small businesses know that they need AI because it'll double their income, but they don't know where to start. And that's where you come in. And so you, my friend, can become what we like to call, AI business Strategist and diagnose a small business problem and figure out where are the leakages. Where are the leakages? There are 9 different things that we teach our students inside of our programs to identify in those businesses and to sell them on those problems. The first one is voice agents. Write this down. The first one is voice agents, right? The second one, I'm going to give you top 3 of the top, chatbots. Chatbots. So voice agent is what I just said right now. Average business in America loses out on $126,000. You can install a voice agent, and actually I'm going to show you how you can install it in literally minutes. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to send you a training on how you can actually install a voice agent in literally minutes. Okay? Install voice agents, chatbots. How many here have maybe reached out to customer support, or you had a question about, a restaurant, for example, what time they open, make a reservation, maybe whatever, and you simply were not able to get a hold of someone? How many here have sent an email to a business and they never responded to you, right? Drop a yes in the chat if you one day, maybe sent an email. I still remember, I think it was like 3 months ago, there was this park or something, I don't know what it was, that me and Rueda, my wife, wanted to go to. And we wanted to take our dog Ginger, and she's like, I don't know, will they allow us to, to take her with us? I'm like, you know what? Let me email them. It was on a Thursday, and we wanted to go on Sunday. This was 3 months ago. I'm still waiting for that email. Well, imagine if you can install a chat bot that is trained based on the frequently asked questions for the business. So that way, instead of the business owner needing to hire someone, manage someone, or them, answering, or better yet, or worse yet, no one answering the questions, what if you can install a simple chat bot into that business that allows the business to provide better customer support, better prospect support, capture leads coming in, asking questions? Wouldn't you agree that that alone can help the business make more money? Well, absolutely, right? You can do that. And then the third one is reputation management. Reputation management. I want you to be writing this down. Reputation management. Why is reputation management important? Well, let me ask you a question. When you want to hire a business, when you want to go to a restaurant, what is the first thing that you do? You've never hired a business before. You've never went to a restaurant before. What's the first thing you do? Drop it in the chat for me. What is the very first thing that you do before you hire someone to do something for you? What is the very first thing you do? I know what is vet them, exactly, says Angelo, 100%. Background check, exactly, background check. Okay, maybe it's a little extreme, but okay, great, awesome, right? Have they been able to deliver the kind of result that I want for myself for someone else, right? Because I don't want to go find out myself. I'd rather find out through someone else's experience. Well, guess what? If you are a business and let's say someone had a bad experience with you, you don't want them to go leaving a bad review for you online. Instead, you want them to give you that feedback so that way you can hopefully improve if you're a good business owner, right? Well, imagine if you can help that business owner, number one, collect more business reviews for their business, because if you were a prospect and you want to hire a plumber and you went to Google reviews and they had 0 reviews, would you trust them? Or would you trust someone else who has 100 reviews? Of course, the one that has 100 reviews, right? So number one, what you want to do is you want to help them get more reviews. Number two, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you filter the bad reviews. So good reviews get posted, bad reviews, they go directly to the business owner that gives them feedback so that way they can improve their relationship. Does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if that makes sense. All right? So those are the top 3 things that we actually help our students with. There are 9 different opportunities and 9 different ways that you can help these small businesses. And remember, on average, just this thing right here, on average, a small business in America loses out on $126,000, and you can charge them a percentage of that. And I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about like how to charge them and how to, like, how much to charge these clients, because it's not only about solving the problem for them, it's also about you making money and then you maximizing how much money you make, right? Which is why there is this thing called value-based pricing. I want you to write this down. Value-based pricing. Okay? What is value-based pricing? Well, if you were to install a chatbot for a company that does $1 million a year, you can take that same chatbot and install it in a company that does $10 million a year. Well, guess what? How many here, if it takes you 1 hour to install a chatbot that can solve both, same problem for both businesses, which business do you think you can charge more for? Drop it in the chat. Which of those two businesses you can charge more? The one with more income. Exactly. The one with more income. The same problem these guys are facing, you can solve it, same solution, but to one will be worth more than the other. Why? Because although the average business loses out on 126,000, this guy is probably losing out on 500,000, where this guy is losing out on 126. So you don't take the same solution and you charge them the same, because obviously you can't charge this guy the same amount you would charge this guy because it's not fair. But then you also shouldn't be charging this guy the same amount you would charge this guy because the problem is worth more to this guy. So you charge what we like to call value-based pricing. Hey, how many calls do you think you're missing on a weekly basis? Oh, I don't know, 10. Okay, great. Well, how much is each call worth to you? Oh, about $100. Okay, so that means $1,000 going out the door per week, correct? Yes. Multiply that by 4, that's $4,000 per month. Okay, well, what if I charge you $1,000 up front to fix that problem, and then $500 per month to maintain it and make sure that it doesn't happen again? Would you go for it if you were a business owner? Well, absolutely. A $4,000 problem per month is going to get a result for me for a one-time payment of $1,000 and $500 per month. 100% I will go for it, right? Now, that same problem, that same conversation you have with this guy. Hey, how many calls are you missing out on a weekly basis? Oh, I don't know, 10. Okay. How much is each call worth to you? Oh, about $1,000. So you're telling me that every week you're losing out on $40,000 worth of business? Is that correct? Yes. Okay, well, what if I charge you $5,000 up front plus $2,500 on a weekly basis? On a monthly basis, will that be worth it for you? 100%. Same solution, two different businesses, you make different kinds of money. Does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if that makes sense for you. And that is what we like to call value-based pricing. You are fair for the smaller business, but you're maximizing how much money you make from the bigger business, because you are solving a bigger problem, same problem, bigger business. Does that make sense? Okay? So that is, my friends, opportunity. That is, for opportunity. I'm just going to abbreviate it. Opportunity. And I'm going to show you how a couple of our students that have leveraged this opportunity, what kind of money they have made. What kind of money they have made. So this is, let me see. So this is Tommy, right? This is Tommy. This was his second or third client, I believe. Was an HVAC company. He doesn't say about what size the HVAC company was, but he was able to charge them monthly of 1,000 euros. So that's whatever that is, $1,200-1,300 a month. And then their budget is $1,500, and he gets paid about another $1,000 per month in maintaining. So again, for him, he's going to install a lead generation system in their business. So first, it's $1,000 upfront for him to set up the business, and then once they're up and running, he's going to be charging them 1,000 euros per month. Now, here's the cool thing. This was 11 days ago. By today, I believe he has 3 or 4 clients that he actually now has. And even if each one of them is paying him, $500 to $700 per month, he's making between $2,000 to $3,000 per month from these clients. And he probably works about 1 to 2 hours per week max per client. So he's probably working about 5 hours a week or so, making $2,000 to $3,000 extra per month from this business. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is that worth it? If you were able to spend half a dozen hours per week maintaining a system that you set up a few months ago, and you're getting paid a few hundred or a few $1,000s per month just coming in, will that be worth it for you? Well, absolutely, 100%. And remember what I said earlier. We have a program that actually teaches you how to do all that stuff. And if you want to learn more about it, I'll drop the link one more time in the chat if you guys want to get into it. You want to learn more about it. It is an application process. It is not for everyone. They range between, we have different offers. They range between $3,000 to $15,000. And we only take on about a dozen students per month. So if you want to learn about how that works, click the link in the chat and go book a call with our team. Now, let's go into the second one, which is implementation. Implementation. So number 2 is implementation. When you think of AI, what's the first concern that comes to mind? When you think of AI, when you think about implementing AI, what is the very first concern that comes to mind? The tools. Okay, what about the tools, Angelo? When you say the tools, what does that mean? What does that mean? Tell me about that. Plethora of tools. Okay, so overwhelm, right? So a lot of tools. There's a lot of things happening there. Okay. And the functionality of them. Okay, design to scale. Okay, what does that mean? When you say design to scale, what does that mean? I want to learn more about what that means. Check. Don't know who check is. When you say design to scale, what does that mean? What about like I remember the very first time when I heard about AI, and when I saw, how many here see those like AI nerds, I guess you can call them, or whatever. They'll post like the screenshot and all these like lines going up and down and these nodes and this flow and that flow and NaN and make and this thing and that thing, right? When I see stuff like this, I just like, my eyes just go across and I'm like, okay, screw this, I'm out of here, right? I'm completely out of here. I don't, that's not for me, right? Well, one thing that a lot of people believe about AI and technology, and why a lot of people stay away from technology, and why half of the world's population is a late adapter. Late adapter. How many here have heard of the the innovation adoption curve, right? There's like the early adopters, there's the early majority, there's the late majority, and there's the late adopters, right? Well, half of the human population is late adopters. So like for me, I'm kind of like early majority. I'm not late majority. I'm on the like 40th percentile or whatever. But half of the world is the second half. Why? Because number one, they hate change. And number two, because technology scares them. Technology scares them. And what a lot of people, why they stay away from AI and trying to learn AI, they think that I need to be techie. How many here have thought about, I need to be techie? Drop a yes in the chat if at some point when you came across AI and you thought to yourself, I want to learn it, I want to, kind of get into it or whatever, you thought to yourself, I need to be techie, right? Well, I definitely did as well until I saw this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you a demo that our AI expert, Stephen Helgar, who's my business partner, did last Monday. So last Monday, we had a presentation where me and him were presenting and everything, and we recorded this section, and that section is going to show you exactly how this works, right?
So I'll do a brief explanation, and I'll show you how easy this is to do this, right? So here's what it is. You cloned all the presidents. Great. Alejandro, I just told you, we're not doing silly stuff. We're trying to make some money here, dude. So, okay, so this is 11 Labs. The website is 11labs, spelled out, .io. It's probably a little small on the screen here, but the website is 11labs.io. And if you go in the top left, you set up an account. There's a free version. You can sign up and register and all the good stuff. If you do a whole bunch, you got to pay a little money. That's normal, right? But what I'm in here is inside of the 11 agents. And inside of the agents, I just went here and I'm going to create a new agent. I'm just going to show you guys how to do this. But before you do this, I want to use like a real use case. So my favorite restaurant down the street from me is Elliot's Steakhouse. And here it is. So I pulled up their website, and I'll show you why I pulled up their website here in a second. But I go over here to the agents and I say, okay, I want to create a new one. Boom. Thank you, Bashar. And guys, please drop your questions in the Q&A section so I can get to them before. So here we got, this is going to ask you, I mean, look how simple and stupid this is, right? Because it's like, oh, do you want a blank one? Do you want a personal assistant or a business agent? Well, it's for a restaurant, so we call it a business agent. What industry is it in? Retail, healthcare, finance, baking? Hey, it's food and beverage. I'll click food and beverage. What's the use case? Customer support, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be order taking. So we'll pretend we're making it for the steakhouse for like pickup orders. Okay, so I'll just name this Elliot's Steak. And then all I'm going to do, and you see it's optional, but if I add their website, all I'm doing is copying and pasting their website inside of here. And then it's going to ask for a main goal. And I don't have to be a rocket scientist to do this, right? I just said main goal. Okay, I want you to take orders for delivery or pickup. And Dio, yeah, it does scrape the website. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I don't know if it's Dio or Deo, but either one, I hope that was right. That's what you want, okay? And I'm just gonna literally hit the button, create agent. It spins for a minute here. It's spinning, it's spinning. Here we go. It's still going. I should play it's like some Jeopardy music or something. There we go. Okay, now look at this. It's got the system prompt inside of here. It's already pre-programmed everything. In the past, you would have to figure all this out and put it in here, but literally I just gave it the website and I gave it this whole thing. And it did all the work for me. And it even created the first message. Now I can change all this if I want to change it. I can change the voice. I can change the expression. I can change the language. I can change the language model, right? Now, who's drawing on my screen again? Cut it out. I'm trying to do stuff. So this is the way it is, Una. Damn it, Una. So I'll just do a demo. So if I hit preview up here, it'll pop this up. And let's just try it out. And make sure you can hear this when I pull it up.
Hi there. Ready to place your order for pickup or delivery?
Yeah, but I'm not sure what I want. Can you help me out?
Of course, I'd be delighted to help you find something delicious. To get started, are you in the mood for something specific, like a classic steak or perhaps something lighter? We also have some wonderful daily specials I could tell you about.
I love a steak.
Excellent choice. You've come to the right place. Our steaks are truly a highlight. We offer several cuts, all perfectly aged and cooked to your preference. Would you be interested in our famous Rowena ribeye, a juicy New York strip, or perhaps our tender filet mignon? I can tell you a bit more about each one, or about any special preparations we might have today.
The filet sounds great to me.
Wonderful choice. Our filet mignon is incredibly tender and a very popular option. How would you like your filet mignon prepared?
How many believe that was pretty easy, and how many believe that you could do this? Drop ES in the chat if you're like, yeah, bro, like that's pretty freaking easy. I could do that, right? Well, here's the beautiful thing. That right there, how long did it take Steve? Like 2, 3, 4 minutes? I mean, I don't know. The entire video was like 5, 10 minutes or something like that, right? Well, here's the beautiful thing. That right there, that solution right there, you can literally do the same exact thing and sell it to restaurants in your local area, right? There's actually one of our students, one of our AI students, Monica, what she does is every time she goes out to eat, what she does is she will build one of those, which you saw. It took Steve like, I don't know, a whole 5 minutes. Now, obviously, you can like tweak it and clean it up or whatever. You can change the voice. You know, you saw the voice there. You can change the voice. You take that and you simply, every time she goes to a restaurant, she's like, you know, she'll go and eat and stuff like that. And she's like, hey, can I talk to your manager real quick? Manager comes up and is like, hey, look, I just built this voice bot for you here. We can install it anywhere you want. We can put on your phone number. We can put on your website. We can put it anywhere. It can take orders for you, and I can set it up for you. I already built it. If you want, I can set it up. There's not a whole lot of selling here. You just literally built something, you showed it, you demoed it, and boom. Now, you know, obviously not everyone's going to say no, but let's say 1 out of 10 restaurants you go to says yes. Well, you just kind of paid for your groceries for the month. You know what I mean? You paid for your outings for the month. How cool is that? You know? And then from there, it's like, imagine if it was a chained restaurant, and then they could do it for multiple locations. They can deploy it in other locations. That's how easy implementing AI is today. And this wasn't this easy literally 3 months ago. So we launched our AI program in October, well, late October, November. November 3rd was actually day one, because that's why you saw there was only like 50-something students in there, because we literally only take on a dozen new students every single month. That's it. We cap it, right? 12 new students per month, close the doors, work with them, because Steven, our AI expert, works with everyone in our students one-on-one basis, right? And so you literally, when we started this program, this right here, what Steven just showed on the live call there, he actually had to go in and like build all these automations and stuff, and it would take like about an hour and a half to do what he just did right now. Where literally within about 2 months, it collapsed and it's like a 5-minute thing, a 10-minute thing. And that's how advanced AI is getting and how fast it's moving. And that's why the opportunity is right now. It's not 6 months from now, it's not 12 months from now, it's now. And as you go further throughout the journey, it'll get easier and easier and easier. If you thought that was easy, give another 3 months, see how much easier it's going to get. But the problem is if you wait 3 months from now and you don't get started, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot more to catch on to catch up on. There's going to be a lot more people involved in it. There's going to be a lot more people that know about it versus now. Does that make sense? So that's how easy it is. You grab something, you show it, and you get started. Does that make sense? Drop yes in the chat if you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like I see how I can do this. I see how simple that could be. And remember, that's one of the 3 things that we actually offer. Okay? One of the 9 things that we offer, and then the 3 that I shared with you earlier, which was first one was a voice agent, which was just right now what you saw. The second one is a chatbot, and the third one is reputation management. All right? Now I want to go to number 3, which was demand. Number 3, which was demand. By the way, I got some direct questions to people that are like, hey, I want to kind of learn how I can learn from you guys. I dropped a link again in the chat. Remember, we've got multiple programs that range between $3,000 to $15,000. It is an application process. If you want to learn how you can get involved, click the link in the chat. Go book your call with our team. They have some slots available later today and tomorrow as well. And maybe, I don't know if they have slots available Tuesday, but I know they have slots available today and tomorrow. They can have a chat with you. The program is not for everyone. And they will tell you straight up if it's not for you. They will tell you that. Okay? And if you want to learn more information, like what does the program come, with, what do you guys offer, I'll tell you about it in just a little bit. But if you wanted to get ahead of the process there, you can click there. So let's go into number 2. Let me just pull up my notes here. So number 2 is about demand. Now, why is demand important? Why is demand important? Okay? Can you drop in the chat? Why do you think demand is important for a business? For any business, really. I'll wait. Let me know in the comments. How much are you losing on not meeting the demand of people registering here? I don't know what that means, my friend. Would love to answer your question, but don't know what that means. Why is demand important for a business? Let me know in the chat. Why do you guys think demand is important in the business? I remember about 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago now, I attended a Tony Robbins event, Business Mastery. It was like a $5,000, $6,000 event. It was like a 3-day event. And I remember one quote that he put that stuck with me since that day, right? And that day was, that quote was, he said that all business really is innovation and marketing. All business really is innovation and marketing. He said, you could have the best product in the world, but if you don't have demand for it, if you don't have marketing for it, if people don't know that it exists, then it doesn't matter. You could literally invent the best thing in the world, right? But if you don't have demand, then that thing doesn't go anywhere, right? It's important to promote the business, absolutely. So when it comes to this business, AI could make it simple for you to implement the solution. You could know how to diagnose a business problem. You could know how to do everything. But if you don't know how to create demand, if you don't know how to find customers, if you don't know how to find people that are actually going to pay you for your solution, it doesn't matter if you know how to implement AI or not. Does that make sense? If you learn how to implement AI, if you know how to build AI solutions, if you know what business to target, but you don't have customers, nothing works. So there are 4 different buckets of demand, and this is something that you guys want to write down. There's 4 different buckets. 4 different buckets of demand methods that we teach inside of our program. Today I'm going to focus on one of them, but I'm going to tell you all of them, okay? The very first one is we call it Dream 25. Let me ask you a question. How many here know, if you pick up your phone right now, just pick up your phone and just like scroll through it. If you just pick up your phone and scroll through it, how many can find at least 3 to 5 business owners in your phone? In your phone, these could be friends, relatives, family. Could be your neighbors. It could be people in your church. It could be service providers that actually provide you services, like your CPA, your accountant, your the guy that does your oil change, the guy that does your mows your lawn, the roofer, the plumber, the electrician. How many here? Drop a yes in the chat. If you go through your contact book right now, you can find at least 3 to 5 business owners in your contact book. Just drop a yes in the chat if you believe that you could. So Angelo says yes. Okay, great. That's awesome. Mahmoud says yes. Okay, awesome. So here's the thing. All of you guys, all whatever 35 of us that are here right now, can find 3 to 5 people in your phone book that have a business. Well, guess what? If they have a business, they probably have a problem that you can solve with AI. Okay? So that's one place that you can find businesses. The second place is what we like to call online businesses. Okay? What are online businesses? Marketing agencies, e-commerce stores, digital marketers, graphic designers, email marketers, people, SaaS companies, okay? Companies that operate online, specifically, like my company is an online company. I could be your target client. People like me can be your target client, right? And these people are easily to be found. Why? Because you can just go online, and usually they hang out online. They have social media accounts. You can reach out to them via email. There's a bunch of ways they can reach out to them. And there is a plethora of these kinds of businesses around the world, okay? The third kind of business that we like to focus on, is local SMBs. And this is the one that I'd like to focus on today. Local small businesses. This is the service provider in your local area. This is the plumber in your local area. This is the electrician. This is the roofer. This is the kind of businesses that are there that are providing services. This is home-based services. And in fact, there is an entire sheet that I'll be sharing with you guys today that's right over here. Where is it? That we actually target. These are the kinds of businesses that we target, and I'll share this with you guys here in just a few minutes. And these are not just the kinds of businesses that we target, but the kind of solutions that we can help them with, okay? So HVAC company, heating and air, right? What is one big problem? That missed calls and slow replies. So you can install a simple AI solution, a voice agent like I just showed you. Roofing, right? Again, can respond to leads, scheduling estimates, right? You can install either a chatbot or you can install a voice agent. Plumbing, same problem. After hours calls go to voicemail, lost jobs, right? You can also do the same thing. You can install a voice agent or you can install a chat agent, right? Electrical, so electricians. Pest control, landscaping. You should be writing all this stuff down. Pool services, garage door repair, auto repair, windows, door sliding, like home improvements, solar installers, movers. You get the point. Home services. All of these businesses need many things that you can offer to them. They need more leads. You can generate them more leads. They need reputation management, as I explained to you earlier. They miss calls because either after hour calls or assistant not answering the phone. Or if you are a plumber and you're a solo entrepreneur, and then you got a call and you're out there under a sink and you are fixing someone's pipes, and then the phone rings, guess what? You're not going to be able to answer the phone. The minute that you miss that call, guess what's going to happen? The customer is going to call the next guy and the next guy and the next guy until somebody actually answers the phone. And that is where you come in. You install a simple voice agent just like Steven just showed you. And just like that, you can actually take calls, you can make appointments, you can answer questions. You can simply say, hey, sorry, but we're on another, what's it called, how can I help you? And then you can talk back and forth with the customer, and you can send you can set up a system that sends a message to the business owner, so that way they can get back in touch with the customer. Instead, now what happens? All these calls go unanswered. Usually voicemails are too filled or whatever. There's not even a voicemail set up, because a lot of these business owners are what? They're just disorganized. They don't have the time. They don't have the bandwidth to go learn all these things. And you can be the guy or the gal to go install a simple AI solution that literally takes you 10, 15 minutes, say an hour to install, and you can charge them hundreds and thousands of dollars upfront and monthly to maintain. Because it's not about just the one-time setup. You help them set it up once, and then you got to maintain it, because you got to tweak it, change the answers, expand it, scale it down, whatever you've got to do. Put it on a website, then put it on a phone number, then put it here, then put it there. And then guess what? If you help them with one problem, then you can help them with multiple problems, right? And then the fourth bucket is their network. Their network or referrals. Referrals, right? Our AI expert, Stephen, talks about how he likes to create clients, not customers. I like to create clients, not customers. What's the difference? Who here knows, drop it in the chat for me, who here knows the difference between a client and a customer? Drop it in the chat. Who here knows the difference between a client and a customer? Client receives a service. Okay, cool. What else? What's the difference between a client and a customer? What's the difference between a client and a customer? Clients are forever, just says Jim. Absolutely. A customer is a one-time transaction. You help them once and it's done. A client, however, you continue transacting with them, providing them services, adding value to them, and getting paid and making more money, right? A customer, when you have customers, when your job is just to find customers, you're not worried about what's going to happen 12 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 months from now. You're like, get my money and I'm out. Instead, what you want to do is you want to create clients, because clients give you other jobs. If you help them with one solution, then they probably have other problems. How many here agree that businesses have more than one problem they can help them with? I know in our business we have a shitload of problems, right? You help them with one problem, then they want another problem solved, then another problem solved, then another problem solved, right? And then also, not to mention, if you help them with one problem, how many here agree that they're going to refer you to their friends, family, other business owners? Because business owners know other business owners, right? It's like, hey man, this guy helped me do X, Y, Z. Maybe he can help you do the same thing. And then boom, before you know it, now you've got recurring revenue from this client, and he's bringing you other clients, and so on. Does that make sense? Drop yes in the chat if that makes sense. Drop yes in the chat if that makes sense. So this is how, Barack, here, let me show you. This is how Barack was able to land his first client for the year. This is only about 45 days in. His first client for the year. So first client sale of the 2026, one-time initial fee plus 6 months recurring. So something that he did not mention here is how much he charged. So as of right now, I believe he has 5 clients. I was talking to him actually yesterday. He's got 5 clients. On average, he charges them between $500 to $700 up front and between $300 to $500 monthly recurring. So you just multiply, let's just call it $400 times 5. That's $2,000 per month that he's getting from those 5 clients. And he only spends maybe 30 minutes a week, if that, to maintain their systems. And then he's charging them between $500 to $1,000 up front. So he's already made about $3,000 or so up front as a one-time fee, plus he's making another $2,000 per month. Now remember, he's only been in the program for about 2.5 months. So it's not like he's been in the program for about 2 years. But this is what he was able to accomplish. Does that make sense? Does that sound exciting? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, 2-3 months from now, I could have a couple $1,000s coming in per month, while I already got paid a couple $1,000s up front to set up a system that only take me maybe an hour or two to build and maybe 30-45 minutes a week to maintain. Like, that's kind of cool, right? That's what he was able to accomplish. Does that make sense? Cool. So let's go over the 3 things that we just covered today. What are the 3 things that we covered? What are the 3 things why they keep people from making money from AI? Drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. What are 3 things that you must know how to do in order for you to make money with AI? Drop them in the chat. What are they? I know you guys know them. I'm not going to move on until you guys tell me what they are in the chat. Opportunity, implementation, demand. Christian, on fire. Let's go, man. Opportunity, O. Implementation, I. And demand for D, right? You get those three things right, you, my friend, can start making money with AI, right? How many different AI solutions we teach inside of our program? How many different things that you can help people with? 9, exactly, says John. Okay, what are top 3 that you can start helping businesses with this week, literally this week with? Drop them in the chat. What are 3 things that you guys can help businesses with this week? Missed call, says Mary. Okay. Missed calls, that means what? Lead generation, voice agents. Yes, Angela, voice agents. That's right. What else? Voice agents. Lead generation, chatbots. Yes, chatbots. Okay. Lead generation is number 4, but there was one more. Handling reviews. Yes. Reputation management. And the last one is lead generation. Lead gen. And here's the thing. Lead gen can be one of those 2 things, right? Because voice agents and chat bots are not just like, they could do multiple things. They could be set up for lead gen. They could be set up for customer support. They could be set up for anything. They could be set up on someone's website to handle inbound leads, to turn them into turn them into new opportunities. Or they can be set up in someone's community. Like, for example, we, inside of our AI community, we have a chat bot that Steven has set up, and it's customer support, right? At the same time, we also have another chatbot on my Instagram page, which many of you guys probably interacted with, gave you links or talked to you or whatever, that handles inbound leads to turn prospects into clients. Does that make sense? So the same solution right here can be for multiple different, multiple different, multiple different solutions, right? It could be for prospects, converting leads. It could be for customers, customer support, and so on, right? Now, let me ask you guys a question. Has this been valuable so far? Drop a yes in the chat if this has been valuable so far. Have you learned at least one thing today that you did not know before? Was there at least one thing that you learned today that you did not know before? Okay. Have I held my end of the bargain today? Again, we're not done yet. We've got another 30 minutes, at least. We've got some Q&A. We've got a couple of gifts that I'm going to give you guys. But have I, so far, held my end of the bargain to add value to you guys on a Sunday afternoon? Okay, great. Now, for those of you that are interested into our programs, can I take maybe like 5 minutes, maybe not even 5 minutes, like maybe 3 minutes just to share with you guys what our program entails, what it is, what it covers, and then we can go into our Q&A, and then I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions, and then we continue with the presentation. Is that okay? If I do that, Angela says, please do. Okay, what about everybody else? Can I take 2-3 minutes just to walk you guys through our program, what it entails, what it includes, and so on? Okay, cool. Awesome. So I got a couple of yeses, so I'm going to do that. All right, so I'm going to just share my screen real quick and just kind of walk you guys through what it is and what it includes. So these are a couple of our students. This is Jesus. Enrolled into our program within 27 days. He was able to land his first client. This is Nina. Actually, within a day, she was able to land her first client. This hasn't happened. This is not the average. Like, don't expect this to happen, but it's like this has happened, where someone literally enrolled in the same day, she was able to land her first client, which is pretty awesome, right? So here's what the program actually entails. All right. So here's what you would get. Number 1. You get a 30-day sprint, which is on-demand videos plus execution sprint to land your first paying client within weeks, not months. Our goal is to help you land your first client in 30 days. And as you saw, Nina landed her first client in a day. Jesus did it in 27 days. Okay? So here's what the next 4 weeks will look like. You join today. The first week, you'll learn how to create demos like the one that Steven just showed you. Number 2, the second week is how to get customers lined up. You figure which of those 4 buckets, remember the 4 buckets we talked about, which of those 4 buckets you want to focus on. and you start getting customers lined up. Week number 3, learn how to deliver quickly, how to implement. And week number 4, how to get paid. The second thing you would get is access to our community. Remember here I showed you earlier? So this is our community where you get to mingle with all of our other community members. You get to hang out with everyone, ask questions. You know, you get access to our classroom and to our weekly calls where we have several of them every single week. You get to ask questions, hang out with our AI expert, Steven, and so on. And you get 3 months of access to that. And you get unlimited one-on-one coaching with Steven himself. Let me ask you guys a question. If you had a multi-millionaire next to you, helping you in the journey of you starting a new business, how many here agree that you would have a much higher chance at succeeding than if you did not have someone there with you walking you through the entire process? I know when I first started my online journey over a decade ago, I did not have anyone. And that's why my first several businesses failed. And my businesses started succeeding when I started actually investing in mentorship. Up to date, I have invested over $1 million in coaches, masterminds, consultants. That's helped me generate over $37 million online. Now, I didn't start with investing $1 million because I didn't have that kind of money. But the more I made, the more I invested. However, I did not start making money until I started investing. Because sometimes people think, oh, well, when I make money, then I'll start investing. No, it doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. You invest, then you make money, right? The fourth thing you get is a business locator kit. So remember what I told you? I will actually be giving this to you guys, to everyone who books a call today, okay? So if you book a call and show up to the call, I will email it to you personally. I'm actually going to send you 3 different gifts that I will email to you personally when you guys book your call. Anyone that books their call. Doesn't matter if on the call you decide not to enroll into our program or whatever happens, that's totally cool. But if you book your call today with our team, I will send it to you. And those of you that are inside of our community already, you don't need to book a call because you're already in there. I already see a couple. I see Jim and a couple others. The other thing that you would get here is your first client secured by us. So not only do we teach you how to find your first client, but we actually secure it for you. How many here are kind of a little like hesitant, or not hesitant, but like scared to like hit up someone and be like, hey man, I'm trying to sell you this stuff. Do you want to buy my stuff? Drop it in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yeah man, I've never done this before. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of scared of doing this. Well, if that's you, don't worry, because our team of experts will actually secure your first client for you. We will get on that call for you. We will diagnose their problem for you. We will actually close that deal for you. So you don't have to do anything. Okay? By the way, I'm just going to drop that link in the chat one more time for you guys to book your calls. Also, your first AI solution will be built by Steve and his team. So not only are we going to teach you how to find a client and help you land that client, we will actually build that AI solution for you. Okay? So Steve will get to work just like he built the AI voice. Obviously, this stuff is easy, but it's a little bit complicated. We got you, right? And you also get Steve AI. You get a proprietary, here, I'll show you guys what it is actually. If you go to our classroom, I think it's here. Yep, there you go. So this is not just any AI. This is an AI chatbot that actually we build for our clients. So if you say something like, how do I get my first client? So this is not pulling information from the internet. That's why you're actually going to see that it takes a little bit longer to, to work. And you saw what it said, searching database. It's not searching the internet. It's searching information that we fed it. So this is not like just regular ChatGPT. We have trained it ourselves to pull from the information that we teach inside of our program and give you answers. So let's say if you have a problem, if you're with a client, you don't know what to answer, you don't know what to say, whatever, you've got this thing available to you 24/7, 365 that can answer questions for you anytime you want. Is that cool or is that cool? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, that's freaking cool. Imagine having a multi-millionaire brain in your hand that you can talk to it anytime you want. How many here agree that you can have a much better chance at success than if you didn't? I know if I had these resources when I started my online journey 10 years ago, man, I would have probably been worth over 10 times what I'm worth today, right? All right, let's go back here. And then last but not least, which is the thing that I'm very excited about, is a ticket to our two-day in-person VIP events. So we've got actually one coming up in Miami in about 3 weeks. So if you enroll this week, this would be the perfect chance for you to make it to Miami. If not, totally cool. We've got one in June. We've got one in September. You can come then. But let me tell you, these are a blast. How many here have heard the saying, your results are the average results of the 5 people you hang out with? Drop a yes in the chat if you've heard the saying, your results are the average results of the 5 people you hang out with. Well, guess what? The 5 people you're going to be hanging out with here for 2 full days, okay, are those in the same journey as you are those that are ahead of you. There's here, I don't know if you guys could see this, but this guy, I can't zoom, this guy right here, he's made over $1.8 million with his business, with his online business. This guy, one of our speakers, I think he's done over $150 million with his online business, right? Now imagine if you hang out around people that have made hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. This guy right here in the back, multi-millionaire, one of our clients, multi-millionaire, has several businesses. Imagine spending 2-3 days with people who have made 6, 7, even 8 figures. Being in the same network, being in the same room. Imagine how much your results will expand and will improve. I know for me, about $500,000 or $600,000 of the $1 million that I've invested in coaches, mastermind courses, and all that has all been in events like these. Because every time I go to an event like this, my brain expands because I see what's possible, right? Sometimes we live in a vacuum, and when we live in a vacuum, what happens is you only think what's possible is the people around you, the 4 walls that are around you. But then when you get out of that and you see what else is possible, that's when your imagination expands, right? And that's why we host those. So you get all those when you enroll in our program. And listen, there's a reason why we are not just dropping a link for you to go purchase this program online, because we want to protect our community. There's an interview process, and we understand that it's not for everyone, okay? Because it's not just a course, it's a one-on-one mentorship. And the community actually guarantees results. For March, what we're doing is we're offering a $2,000 scholarship. And those that have already enrolled in our program, Jim, you guys already got it when you enrolled. And we have 10 spots left for the month, okay? It is only valid for 48 hours, though. So what's today? Today's Sunday. So call it 5 p.m. EST. What time is it right now? We'll call it 5 p.m. EST on Tuesday, okay? And if you want to gain access to the program and actually qualify for the $2,000 scholarship, you can click the link that I just dropped in the chat, go fill out the short survey, book a call with our team, and they'll figure out where you are, and they will give you kind of, next steps. And if they believe that you are a fit for what we're doing, they'll extend an invite. And as I mentioned to you, we have multiple different programs. And don't worry, yes, they range between $3,000 to $15,000, but don't worry if for whatever reason you cannot afford it, you don't have a lot of money or whatever, we've got a ton of different financing options. What's important for us is the fit. It's not the money. The money we'll make available. We actually have financing options that you can start today with 0 down, right? Your first payment is not due until 30 days. And by then you might have landed your client and literally get the business to pay for your enrollment fee, okay? And here's the awesome thing as well, is that we guarantee that you land your first paying client within 90 days. We actually have it written in the contract. We guarantee that you'll land your first paying client in 90 days. And if you don't, we will work with you for an additional 90 days for free until you do. Okay? So we actually guarantee you results. We want to remove all of the risk away from you. We want to get you to only exercise the upside and reduce all of the downside for you. Okay? Which is why we're literally putting it in writing in the contract that we will help you land your first paying client in 90 days, or we will work with you for an additional 90 days for free until you do. I don't know what else we could do. I don't think we could do any more. All right? I'm seeing questions come in. What other questions you guys got? All right, so let's go ahead and start answering some questions here. Remember, guys, when you book your call, I will personally hand deliver this to you. Well, virtually, via email. I'll send you this for free. Whether you join our program or not, totally cool. But if you book the call, I will send it to you. And then the training about how to install an AI chatbot, I will also send it to you, or AI voice bot. Okay. I just want to show you guys this a little bit from Tommy, and then we'll get into answering questions.
So 25 days after getting help choosing what specific problems to solve for business owners and getting help coming up with an offer, I signed my first client on a 500 euro monthly retainer. 7 days after that, I signed my second client on a 1,000 euro monthly retainer. My name is Tommy, I'm from Finland, and the BJKU AI Strategist program helped me think like a strategist and helped me actually leverage AI to help myself in my own business and help other business owners so we can all make more money and live a more abundant life.
This is Tibor, another one of our clients as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Tibor Balázs, I'm from Cluj-Napoca, Romania. I joined the BJKU Certified AI Strategist program in November 2025. I had a strong ambition in the AI space, but I lacked structure. I didn't know how to properly package, position and sell my services. Within 90 days, everything changed. I defined my niche, built a clear AI offer, structured it professionally and started booking calls with qualified and real business owners. And most importantly, after 90 days, I signed my first paying client. The offer is ongoing, enrollment is done, and I'm now preparing for full delivery next week. That was the real proof for me that this program is working. What made the difference? The mentor course with Stephen Hilgard, the clear execution roadmap, and the action-focused structure. No fluff, just implementation. And I have to say that the BJKU community is absolutely fantastic. Real, motivated, professional people. It's a pleasure to be part of that environment. If you are serious about building a real AI service business, this program gives you clarity, system, and momentum. See you inside BJKU.
All right, very cool. Now I'm getting some questions here about the form and how to book a call. So I'm going to walk you guys through the form just to make sure that you guys see how it works. Let me just share my screen. And John says, do you have Claude connector? Because I deleted my ChatGPT. You can reinstall it, man. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. So that's the fun part. Let me see. Let me just walk you guys through how this works. So if you click here, you should come to this page. Why do you want to become an AI business strategist? Let's just assume that this was me 10 years ago. I want to replace my 9 to 5. How much would you like to make per month 12 months from now? At least $10,000 a month. How much money do you currently make per month? I was making like 3 to 5K a month. Why have you not been able to accomplish this goal? Lack of proper knowledge and guidance. What is your current financial ability to make your goals a reality? Now, here's the interesting thing. So, and this was actually a question that I got earlier. The business itself, you need maybe like $100, $200 to invest to get it going. For our programs, remember, they are between $3,000 to $15,000. Okay. Now, we don't expect you to have that money in your bank account, and you don't have to, because we have financing options. We have different resources available for you. Okay. If you answered, I don't have the financial resources, then you will get disqualified because there is an investment to actually get into the program. It's not free. So if you have the money in your bank, then I would select this one. If you don't have it, but you can access it through a credit card, you can apply for a loan, you maybe have a business partner that's going to come into this with you or whatever, then I would put, I have the financial resources. Okay. If you're accepted to join, when are you able to start? Yesterday. Okay. And then you put in your name. Cool. And then I'll put my email. And then I'll put my number. This is not my number, by the way, so don't try to call it. And then from here, it'll take you to this page where you actually get to book your call with our team. Okay? Does that make sense? Is that clear? I think there was a couple questions. Mary and Angelo and a couple others maybe. Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay, let's answer some questions. Okay, so I answered this one. Boom, I answered this one. All right, what other questions do you guys have, guys? Drop it in the chat for me. I want to make sure that I answer your questions. You can either drop them in the chat or in the Q&A box. It doesn't matter. There's not a whole lot of people here, so I'll be able to answer all of them. Right. Okay, this was a question that I got earlier today. It was, how much money do I need to start this business? So remember what I said earlier. You actually only need like $100, $200 to get the business going, because the marketing you're not paying for. You can find them organically. Now you can pay for marketing and other methods like run ads and that kind of stuff. But in the beginning, for your first couple of clients, you actually can find them for free. Like Tommy found them for free. Barack found them for free. Tibor found them for free. They didn't pay for their clients. Okay. The only thing you're going to be paying for is a couple tools like ChatGPT. If you wanted to get the advanced version, voice, like 11 Labs is $5, $5 to $10 per month. So it's nothing crazy. If you're paying more than $100 per month for tools, you're doing it wrong, right? Again, there is an investment in the program which we can help you with, and there's a $2,000 scholarship. But outside of that, for the business itself, you don't really need a whole lot of money to get going. Okay. The second question that I have is how much time do I need to invest in this for me to get it going? So how many here has a job? Like you guys have a job, or you have a business, or you have like other obligations going on? Well, I do as well, and so does 90% of our students. In fact, Tommy has, I believe, 2 jobs. I don't know if Tommy's here today. I don't think he's usually on our calls. But I don't think he is, because he would have replied already or said something. Let me see. Is he here? Tommy. I don't see him. Okay. So Tommy, I believe, has 2 jobs, plus he has 2 kids at home, 2 young kids at home. And he's always busy. The guy is always busy. Yet he's able to carve out a couple hours a week to do this business. He's always on calls. We have multiple calls per week, coaching calls with Steven. He's always there answering questions. Asking questions. He's often off camera, muted, because he's either at work or taking care of his kids, but he's always there because he's been able to carve out a couple hours per week to make this happen, right? And so for him, how did he make it happen? Because he understands that this business can be done from anywhere in the world at any time. It evolves around his schedule, not the other way around. It's not a 9 to 5 where you have to be there at this time. You have to clock out at this time in order for you to make it work. You actually can make it work however and whenever you want, right? So as long as you're able to invest a minimum of 3 to 5 hours per week, then you could do this business. As far as when those hours are, that's honestly up to you. But obviously, the more, the better. Okay. Angela says, do you think there's a big difference between implementing this business idea in the US versus a third world country? I'm in Peru. Well, here's the interesting part, Angela. Tibor lives in Romania. What's his name? Tommy lives in Finland. Barack is Persian who lives in Canada. And about 60% of our clients do not live in the United States. But all 100% of them do business in the United States. Let me say that one more time. 60% of our clients do not live in the United States, but majority, not 100%, I lied there. Majority do business in the United States. Some of them do business locally. Why? And in fact, I do not recommend, if you live in a developing country, that you do business in your country. I highly recommend that you do business in the United States, even if you live outside of the US. Why? Because there is a bigger opportunity in the US. There's a bigger economy in the US. Americans are more receptive to AI, and they understand AI. They understand how important it is in their businesses. So I highly recommend for you, Angelo, that you do business in the US, and we teach you how to do that. We teach you how to find clients in the US. We teach you how to contact them, what to say to them, and so on, and position yourself in a place of an expert, even though you're not yet an expert, because you will have our backing. So what happens is so Angela says, I'm from the US, but I just don't live there now. Great, that's awesome. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you live. Again, several of our students do not live in the US, right? And so what can happen is you will get us as your backing because we will get you certified. Within 30 days, you will become a certified AI business strategist. So that's one thing that you can show that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a certified AI business strategist, right? Let's see. What if I am a business owner? I don't want to become an AI business strategist, but I actually want to implement AI in my business. Does this program still work for me? 100%. About 30 to 40% of our clients are actually business owners themselves. Now, that camp of business owners is actually now divided into two different camps. One camp is, hey, I know AI is the future. I know, remember what I said here. Where is it? 2x. Businesses who implement AI are 2x better than businesses that don't implement AI. So I want to implement AI in my business so I can get better, right? And that's what they come in to learn. They learn the different ways that businesses can improve with AI, and they implement in their business. The second camp of business owners inside of our business are business owners who come in with the thought process of, I want to implement AI in my business, but then do you know what happens? They realize, well, holy shit, I can actually now go and sell these solutions that I implemented in my business to all of my competitors. We have several people that have done that. We have Vince, who came in, who's a... man, what kind of company does he have? It's a construction company, but it's not a construction company. It's a home service, but I forgot. Landscaping, that's what it is. Landscaping company, right? He came in as, I'm a landscaper. I want to implement AI in my business. I want to, his thing was invoicing. He wanted to build more robust invoicing. He wanted to build a more robust hiring process, and he did all that for his business. Then he was like, hang on, but I actually meet, and I think he said that once a month or once a quarter, he meets with like a couple dozen other landscapers, his competitors, to like share information and see what else is working out there. And he's like, well, wait, I can actually go sell this to all of my competitors. Same thing happened with Rain, who is a med spa business owner. She came in to implement some, for her it was voice agent for book calls, because she was getting a bunch of calls and her staff wasn't doing that great of a job. So she installed a voice agent that handles calls and books appointments. And then she's like, wait a second, I can go to all my competitors and actually sell this to them. And now I've got two sources of income. I've got my own med spas, but I also have this AI thing that I can sell all the other med spas out there and make money from them. Does that make sense? So that's the beautiful thing about this business model, is that it works for you if you just want to become an AI business strategist and sell these services to businesses. If you are a business owner who you want to implement these solutions in your business, and also if you are a business owner who you want to implement these solutions in your business and then sell them to other businesses in your industry. Pretty cool, right? Awesome. All right, another question. Hey, why do I need to enroll in your guys' program? Why can't I just ChatGPT this stuff, YouTube this stuff? And this was a very, it's a very common question. Actually, there was the same exact thought process that I had when I first started my online business, right? Because I'm like, well, shit, why do I need to like pay people for their advice? There's a gajillion hours on YouTube that I can actually, get for free. Especially now with ChatGPT, it just makes things so much easier. And I'm like, I can just ChatGPT this stuff. Why do I need this? Well, here's the thing. ChatGPTing stuff or YouTubing stuff is only as good as if you know what to ask it. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to ask these machines the right answers to extract, or the right questions to extract the right answers. If you don't know what to ask, how are you going to get the right answer? And what if you think you know the right question to ask, but you've never done this before? So how can you be so certain? Not to mention, even if you have the right questions and you get the right answers, there's a component that a lot of people miss out on when they don't have a circle. Remember what I said? that your results are the average results of the 5 people you hang out with. Well, how many here, you can drop it in the chat or answer it in your head or whatever. How many here are the highest income earners amongst their peers? I know I was several years ago, and that's why for about 2 years my income was flatlined. And my income did not increase until I actually joined a mastermind, where the very first day that I joined, I saw someone drop a screenshot of them having made $55,000 in 2 weeks. And my brain just blew. It's like, holy shit, so this guy is going to collect $100,000 this month? I didn't even understand. I couldn't even fathom. I didn't even realize that was actually possible. And that's when everything shifted for me. That's when everything changed for me. So not only are you getting the right answers in the right sequence, but you're also getting a community of others that are on the same journey as you are, who are going to force you to expand your perspective and your mind and go to the next level. And that is the power of having a community like this one, right? If you haven't booked your call yet, I just dropped the link again. Remember, guys, there is an application process. So just because you booked your call and you made it on the calendar, it doesn't automatically give you access to the program. It's an interview process. We only take 12 people per month. And there is a reason for that, because this is not a community. This is not just a course, it's a community. And we want to protect our community. So that's why we go through every single person, and we technically vet every single person. Just like you said, before I hire someone to become my plumber or whatever, I vet them. We also vet everyone that comes into our program, right? So fill it out, book a call, and jump on a call with our team. Angela says, I just wanted to thank you for this amazing webinar. It's truly valuable and enlightening, amazing story. Thing that you guys are doing here. I'm looking forward to being in touch. Many blessings to all of you. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, more questions. What else you guys got? I got like 3 more questions that I'll answer, and then I'll wrap up if you guys don't have any more questions, but I've got a few that came in here for me. Watch. Just putting a note for myself. All right, let's see. And remember, guys, when you book your call, you will get 2 gifts from me that I will email to you myself, okay? That is the training on exactly how to set up an AI agent, a voice AI agent, okay? And you will get the list of 22 different businesses, who they are, how to target them, what services to sell to them. Doesn't matter if you end up enrolling in our program or not. For just simply booking your call, I will email those to you personally from my personal email, okay? So all you got to do is click that link in the chat and go book your call with our team. Let me see. What other questions we got? What if I don't get into AI? You know, it's intimidating. I know you said that I don't need to be techie, but it's still intimidating. I decide not to get into AI. What happens? Well, there was this not podcast. It was an interview with Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, and what he said was very interesting. He said, you know, a lot of people are scared that AI will replace them. And it's like, what I've realized is that AI is not going to replace you. What's going to replace you is someone who knows how to use AI. And so if you are afraid that your job, your career, your future is unstable, honestly, you should be. I used to always plan and have a vision for like 5-10 years ahead. Now my vision is only 3 years, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen beyond 2029. Like for me, I used to always like to really plan like very ahead, like 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future. But because of the disruption of AI, and it's going so fast, I'm only thinking like 3 years ahead. And so right now it's like, okay, by 2029, here are the things that I want to accomplish. And by then I want to create enough wealth where whatever has happened, I can plan for the following 3, 5, 10 years. So what I'm saying is, I'm not scaring you, but what I'm saying is, if you're doing the same thing today that you were doing 2-3 years ago, and you're expecting to do the same thing for the next 2-3 years, then you are in a bad shape. Now, this AI business strategist thing, I'm not telling you that it's going to be valid for the next 10 years, but I know it's going to be valid for the next 3, potentially 5. But what I do know is that what you're doing right now is probably, most likely, not going to be valuable in 3 to 5 years. Because what we do know is that AI, unlike any other industry, unlike any other technological advancement, is disrupting everything. Everything's getting disrupted. Like when crypto came out, I know a bunch of people became, some people became billionaires, millionaires, but it didn't disrupt a lot of things. Like until now, it's like, yeah, the technology is interesting and cryptocurrency and all that, but it hasn't really disrupted a lot of sectors, right? With AI, is that every single aspect of our life is getting disrupted. Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. There's not a thing that you're doing in your life right now that will not be disrupted by AI in the next 12 to 24 months. Let me say that one more time. Nothing that you do right now, like today, after you get off this call, go about your day, and just write down everything you're going to do from now until you go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow and look at that list and understand that in the next 3 to 5 years, every single thing will be disrupted by AI. It doesn't mean it'll go away, it'll just get disrupted. It'll look different. How? I don't know, but I just know it'll look different. The way we communicate, cell phones will be different. The way we get to places, transportation will be different. Cars, I believe the DMV will disappear because we're not going to need licenses anymore. Like yesterday, I was at, my wife and I were getting a package from our package room or whatever. We live in a high rise. And this older gentleman came in and dropped boxes, Amazon driver, and I looked at him, and I looked at Rueda, my wife, I'm like, you know that maybe 3, maybe 5 years, he won't have a job, right? Or his job will be replaced by a robot. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, think about it. Autonomous vehicles are here. So the Amazon truck doesn't need someone to drive it, but it needs someone to deliver the boxes. So instead of having a human who gets sick, who asks for days off, who gets into a fight, asks for a raise, can't work nights and weekends, they can just replace him with a robot who works 24/7 and doesn't get tired. And if so, they can just replace him with someone else and boom, back to work. And that robot doesn't need to drive because he'll just sit. The car will get him to the next destination. He'll just come out, grab the box and put it whatever, right? Now, I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's probably going to happen, right? So it's like any aspect of your life is going to change, whether you like it or not. Does that make sense? And so that's where we are right now. If you do not leverage AI today and you don't decide to get into AI today and learn it in 3 to 5 years, I don't know what your future can look like. What I do know is if you decide to get into AI today and learn about AI, you will have a better chance at building and controlling your financial future. That's the thing. It's having control versus, Tony Robbins talks about being the creator of your life versus the manager of your circumstances. You do not want to become the manager of your circumstances. You want to become the creator of your life. You have total control and you decide your fate. You decide your future. How many here want to decide their future? How many here want to be in control of their fate? I know I do. How many here want to have zero control and be the manager of the circumstances? Kind of like reactive, whatever life throws at me, let me hopefully make something out of it. Well, no. You want to be proactive, not reactive. So if you haven't yet, click that link in the chat, go book a call. I'll answer one more question. If I don't get any more questions from the chat, I will go ahead and end the call today, right now. Let me see. I don't have any experience in doing this. Why would companies and businesses take me seriously? I've never sold AI before. This is my first business. I've never done this. I've had a 9-to-5 all my life. I'm transitioning. Why the hell would anyone take me seriously? Well, the same question Barack had, Tibor had, Tommy had, yet they were able to make it happen. Because businesses, remember, 33 million small businesses in America alone know that they need AI because double X the efficiency, but they simply don't know where to start. They don't give a shit about your degree. They don't give a shit about, if you have a computer science degree or whatever. Do you know what you're doing? If you do, great, let me pay you, come solve the problem. And we're going to teach you what to do. We're going to show you exactly what to do. We're going to provide you the support. We're going to provide you the AI that you can ask questions to. We're going to provide you one-on-one coaching with Steven. We're going to provide you weekly calls with Steven and his team. We're going to provide you a community of other members that have done this before you. They can ask and seek help from. You're not there out there by yourself. You've got all the support that you need to become successful. So it's not like, there we go, get shoved out there and go get it done. No. We're going to equip you with all the tools that you need, get you a certified AI business strategist, put you in the world with an armor around you to make sure that you've got everything you need to become successful. Does that make sense? Angelo says, Tony says, can I find the webinar recording somewhere? I'm not sure. We might send out the recording, but I don't know if we will. Why do you believe in helping others? What is the main motivator that gets you to do webinars on Sundays for strangers? That's a great question. Several things. Number one, look, we're not going to try to sugarcoat this. We're not going to try to get away from this. This is a business for me, just like my other businesses. So I make money when you guys enroll into our program. So I'm not going to try to get away from that. I'm not going to try to say, oh no, it's all for a great cause and philanthropy and stuff no. I'm an entrepreneur and I like to make money. At the same time, I like to help people. People tell me all the time, what is your passion? I say, I can be passionate about anything that helps me make money and helps people. If I'm making money, if I'm helping people, I can be passionate about it. It's literally that simple, right? Because at the end of the day, I understand that although money may not buy happiness directly, it can buy me more time with my wife. It can buy me, more lava cakes at my favorite restaurants. It can buy me more steaks. It can buy me more trips. It can buy me a nicer car. It can buy me a nicer home. It can buy me, more trips back home to San Diego so I can spend time with my family. It can buy me more money that I can give to my team as bonuses, which makes me happy, right? And so, although it may not directly buy happiness, but it gives me options. Secondly, my personal mission in life is to create a lasting impact, meaning beyond the years that I'm gone, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years beyond I'm gone, I would have created something that continues to impact people's lives. When people think about Bashar, they don't think about, oh, he wore black all the time, or oh, he had a mustache. They think about, you know what? When I went and I listened to him, it actually changed my life and I am a better person because of it. Oh, I enrolled in this program and I was able to learn this AI thing and now I'm making $3,000 a month and I'm better because of it. That for me gives me fulfillment while I'm here and creates my legacy beyond I'm gone, because I know that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when I'm gone. So those two things, it helps me make money and it helps me impact people's lives positively. So it's great. If I've got to show up for a couple hours on a Sunday, awesome. I'll do it. So hope that answers that question there, Angelo. Great question, man. Appreciate you. All right. Jean says, I believe you can. I know I've known them for a while. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. What other questions you guys have? What other questions you guys have? What if I start and fail? What if it's not for me? What would you say to that? What if I start and fail? Well, the question that I'd have there is, what if you start and succeed? Tony, I keep mentioning Tony Robbins. I promise he's not sponsoring this webinar, but Tony Robbins says, what did he say? He says, what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right, and what you focus on expands. We have a negativity bias in our brain because millions of years ago, our brain had this fight or flight mechanism to help keep safe, to help us stay safe from saber-toothed tigers. But the problem is, obviously there's no saber-toothed tigers, but our brain is always looking for what can go wrong. That's what, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I know I've noticed it for myself, but we always criticize anything that we see, right? If we see someone successful, we always look for the negative. Oh, it's probably a scammer. It's probably luck. It's probably this. When we see a car, a weird-looking car, and there's oh, it's ugly. Oh, this person's too fat, too short, too skinny, too this, too that. We always recognize the negative before the positive. And we have to train ourselves to look for the positive, right? And so instead of thinking, what if I start and fail? Well, what if we think about, what if I start and succeed? What's possible there? What can happen there? The worst can happen is you get into the program 90 days from now, you don't get the result that you want, which is landing your first client, and we work with you for an additional 90 days and make sure that you actually get that happen. That's literally the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, a couple months later, you've got a few clients like Tommy or like Tibor or like Barak, and you're making a couple additional $1,000 per month that can help you. And maybe 6, 12 months from now, you're making enough money where you quit your job or whatever it is that you're doing right now. I know Tommy, that's one of the things he wants to do. He wants to quit his job because he works, he likes it. He says he likes it. He works for a, like they build boats or something. He says he likes it, but it's heavy labor. And he's gone like half of the day where he'd rather work from home, be there with his kids, especially because they're young, right? And Tommy has tried many businesses. But he knows that, and like he's tried 2 or 3 businesses that did not work out. But he knows that like, okay, well that didn't work out. What the hell is the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? And then now things are actually catching on. And he's actually getting results and things are, working. Tony, I wasn't here from the start. Are you able to tell us, those who missed out, in short, what was the webinar was about? Man, we covered so much. Tony, my friend, we covered so much. I'll try to, why don't you, Tony, email me. This is my email. I'll see if I can send you a recording. Just send me an email here, and I'll see that I can send you a recording. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. I have one more meeting after this, and then after, got to go out to eat. Here's a link in the chat. If you haven't booked your call, click on there and go book your call with our team. Again, just because you booked your call doesn't mean you qualify to join the team. It's a more of an application process. They'll kind of figure out where you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and then go from there, all right? Appreciate you all coming on. Hopefully, by the way, did I hold my end of the bargain? Did I deliver value today? Did you guys at least learn one thing that you did not know before that you're like, okay, I know that. Okay, yeah, that was valuable. That was good. That was good. Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay, very cool. Well, then mission accomplished. Whether you guys enroll in a program, whether you guys don't, mission accomplished. That's what I came here to do. Love you guys. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have yourselves a great day. Peace out, everyone.